Welcome to our event today, the organized by Tymiq. And topic for today is event storming. So the agenda for today is following. I make a short introduction to event storming and explain what is it, compare with other methods, and explain steps, what normally should be done. Also go through the problems, what the event storming should solve. And after that, with a small team from our colleagues, we try to explain a real business scenario. It's not a huge one, but a practical one. And we try really to use event storming to model this business process. So just not only theoretical overview, but we also make some practical hands-on on this methodology. And let's see what happens, what we'll get as a result. Okay, what is the event storming? I think most of you is familiar with this kind of pictures, illustrating how what kind of misunderstanding could be between the business analysts, business experts, product owners, requirements engineers, software engineers, and architects. This is how what is the customer explained to be what should be done. This is how the project leader understands it. This is how the analyst designs the stuff. This is how the software engineer implements it. And this is how patches are applied. And basically, the final picture is what the customer really needs. So you see there's a huge amount of opportunities for misunderstanding. And of course, there's a just an example with a swing in the pictures, but all of you who are working in the real projects understand that it happens very often, this kind of misunderstanding between the customer and what the product is, how the solution will look like. And event storming is exactly a tool, a methodology. There's no guarantee, but at least with this methodology, this misunderstanding between the business expert, and engineers could be mitigated. Event storming is invited by Alberto Brandolini in 2012, so it's not very old methodology, and it's based on the domain-driven design principles. So the DDD is very close to the event storm. The main idea of the event storming to be business-centric, customer-centric. So not dive into technology early, but concentrate what user really needs, what kind of business events happens. And as a result, it's a kind of group learning of engineers, domain experts, product owners, customer designers. So they bring together and have a common learning, a common understanding, so shared view on the business process. It's intentionally done without software and hardware-based tools. So it's just a whiteboard and the cards. Of course, it can be indeed also can be done also remotely, like we will present today. But the classical way, people just go into the same room and design it. It's fast and focused because it's really time frame when the dedicated people, dedicated colleagues working only on that, fully focused on that. It's straightforward because there are no complex diagrams, UML diagrams, there are no kind of database designs. It's just explain business process in simple terms that the whole team understands. And it's also fancy, so the people who participated should have also a bit fun. Let's see. We have it today. But I think so. If we compare event storming with other traditional models like modeling methodologies like big design upfront and V-model, the main problem of these methodologies is that the shared view on the business process is still missing. So the engineers don't understand business expert. Very often the end users are ignored. So the people do something and don't take the end user goals, interests into account. And very often data flow and database driven. So make a kind of design and model data flow, but not the business processes. That's not the same. It's sometimes very complex because if people go deeply into the technological details or discuss the database design, how the table should look like, and therefore complexity grows exponentially. Also, very often technology-centric, not business-centric, and quite easy to lose the big picture. Exactly, event storming designed to resolve this kind of cons and problems with the traditional modeling methods. What is a prerequisite? How it works? So first, very important to need to collect relevant people together. So should invite all relevant. How Alberto Brandolini said, we need to have a people who ask the correct questions, the right questions, and the people who could answer these questions. Basically, all the software engineers, product owners, experts, user experience experts, users, customers. Sometimes the customers also could participate. So it could be they should reserve the time slot and be in the same room for this time. Also, should be enough time. Normally, we reserve the whole day. So today, of course, it will be shorter. Sometimes, even for the complex processes, we need some days. From the tools, we just need a card with different colors and a whiteboard with unlimited modeling space. Then the rules are quite simple. So everybody be able to ask and answer the questions. Basically, it's the same as a brainstorm. There's no stupid questions, no stupid ideas. And it's open and I'll discuss all proposals. It's very important that participants on the end, all participants, either it's a business kind of side participants or technical participants, understand all events and work process. Let's go for the steps, how it works in the practice. On the first step, we'll design, we'll create business events, so identify business events and create it. So it's normally written on the these yellow cards. And it's really something which happens in the business process. It's formulated in the past sense. And on this step, we don't worry about duplicates. We don't worry about chronological order of these events. So it will be corrected, updated on the next steps. Very important that the events shouldn't be technical. So I have this example database connection pool created is not really business event and user and benefit from that. So it's not kind of. So as example, user logged in the system, notification email sent, or user paid the fee. So this kind of events are valid business events. On the next step, we have a timeline. And events what are created on the first step will be ordered on the timeline accordingly in chronological order. And also on this step, we identify the events that should happen sequentially, one after another, and events which could happen in parallel. And also we remove duplicates. On the next step, step number 3, we identify first a problematic places. Yeah, so we know, for example, that not clear requirements, don't understand how it should be designed, how it should work, or we know that, for example, some external system has a problem, is too slow or changes the API, very often we can mark it with a red card. And as well, on the same step, we identify external systems, or system external to us. It is not our responsibility anymore, but is something external to us that we communicate with. Step number 4 is very important. We provide also some kind of blue cards, and we're trying to group events with blue cards, and then blue cards has a sentence kind of who helps who to watch. So, for example, this group of cards helps user to be logged in or to be registered. This group of cards with the group of events helps user to pay. And this is the kind of events we're trying to find a domain, subdomains, the events that belongs together, and try to identify our bounded context in terms of domain-driven design. The last step, we identify our theme slice. So before, in this step before, we have already our bounded context and service candidates. But to implement, it makes no sense to implement the whole system on the one iteration. Normally we have evolutional architecture and iteration approach. And this step helps to identify minimal, so MVP products that we start with. So we select the journey that is not very complex and just spanning across multiple service candidates. So how to do it? Just have a points, vote, select the cards that's the most important, and try to have this theme slice that have value for the user, but still simple enough to be implemented first. Based on this theme slice, we start our implementation with teams. This is basically how the process looks like. What we have as outcomes and key result of this process. So what we do. That's the most important from my point of view is a common shared understanding of the business process by all of the participants. And also we design, we define kind of unambiguous languages. So it's our glossary, and we use the same terminology for in all kind of communication, and even in the source code, the variables and classes will have the names what we designed in this list. We have list of bounded context on the step 4 with the service candidates, and we have also theme slice for product implementation, MVP product implementation. This is our achievements. Do you have any questions regarding this, regarding the process, regarding the steps? Is something unclear? Okay, so if there are no questions, go ahead and present our scenario, which we will model today. So we'd like to apply event storming to online park and lot system. The user of the system should be able to choose reserve their parking lot, of course, pay for that for a specific time. Of course, it will be able to park car on the reserved lot, check current status online, and if necessary, also extend the parking time if it's expired. This is basically our scenario. We have some assumptions to that our car registration number will be scanned and recognized by external system when the car driving in the parking building. Also, some car parameters will be important to select to choose a parking lot, size of car. They have electrotype and so on. And we support several payment types: PayPal, credit card, Amazon Pay, but the payments will be fulfilled by external systems. So it's not our responsibility to fulfill the payments. So to model it, I have a small team that present business experts and also technical expert. It's Anastasia will play a product owner role. Konstantin is a domain expert. Vyacheslav, software engineer, and Andrew, software architect. And me, I will just facilitate the whole process and looking that perhaps make some comment and have a fun. I will share our board. So normally, as I said, we collect the persons, the colleagues in the same room, basically in the same virtual room. And we use a remote tool for model. It's a number of as a concept board. We will use Mirrorboard. Mirrorboard is a remote tool that supports that kind of collaboration very well. Okay, you should be able to see Mirrorboard now. Yeah.
Yep.
Very nice. So let's go to the first step. On the first step, as I explained in my presentation, we identify and create business events without caring about duplicates, without caring about timeline. It could be a bit ordered in the chronological time, but it's not absolutely necessary because on the second step we will put it in the right order. I again remind that the events should be business one and formulated in the past tense, not the technical ones. How we'll organize it, we'll put the timer, activate a timer, and I would say we have about, let's say, first 5 minutes to model it. If it's not enough, we'll add the time. Yeah, so Anastasia also send a link for the Mirrorboard, and if you want to just could open it and see not in the shared screen, but in the real time. I also asking Anastasia to activate timer for 10 minutes, and we can start.
10 or 5 minutes? 10? Okay.
Okay, so let's make 10 perhaps. Yeah, let's see if we were ready before.
So
yeah,
we are started, right?
Yes. Some yellow events already. We see some cards relevant for user login. Still would like to see it in the past tense, but I can correct it afterwards. This field profile, user entered car details. Of course, we say that the car details is important to choose the parking lot because it could be a different type of cars, and we need to find really cars that fit to the place. And of course, user could also have several cars, and will order the parking lot and reserve parking lot for specific car. User reservation, parking ticket is created. Car number is scanned. It already happens when the user drives to the parking lot. Parking is start. Nice. Added additional user info. Let's look on the payment cards. Payments done. Price calculated. Payment method chosen. Added additional user info. Place flow, parking place dates are chosen. So it's a bit mix about payment and choose three parking lots. So For the modeling team, as soon as you're ready, just put cursor here, and I will see if we're ready with the modeling process. Still have a bit time. Okay, I still have some minutes. I see the Slava, Andrei, and Konstantin are finished. Okay, so I suggest now to go to the next step. Any comments or any questions regarding this one? Is it clear what happens for all of you?
Yes, it is.
All is clear, Andrew. The only the screen sharing, it is quite small, so it is not really readable. Yeah, maybe you can on the next step. Yeah, make it a bit bigger.
You can increase it for yourself.
Yes, it's possible. So let's go to the other step. What we would like to do it. Our task here is to order events in chronological order. Then we also identify parallel and sequential parts, and we will decide remove duplicates or some events that are not relevant for our process we don't like to model or to implement. The result should be ordered set of events, including these parallel and sequential parts without duplicates, and we leave only relevant events. So I ask clearly your help here, and I ask for the discussion. So if you don't agree or you have another idea, please immediately say, and we will decide to make a common decision, because every opinion is important for us. So I see trying to place their cards in their correct chronological order. Perhaps it really makes sense to start with downloading our application that's located in some application store. It's very first step for the user. From user perspective, I start from downloading the application. Then yes, so registration process started.
Do I understand it correctly that ID card processing is needed for getting user details?
I think it was the idea, but the person who wrote it perhaps can explain.
What exactly?
ID card processing. ID card processing. This one.
What I meant with ID card processing is that there's in Germany you have this digital ID card, and with this you can authenticate and authorize the user.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more valid than, how to say, any Gmail account or something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is part of the. It's a kind of login and registration. Yep. Okay, I think here it's. I'm a bit concerned here because I think it's very two cases. Basically, then the user is already registered, then it's just enough to log it in, and if not, we need a registration process. When the user added the profile, fill in the profile, so perhaps we can put it in the parallel.
Yes, you're right.
It's kind of this. And now I see some negative example. Our event user ID storage into the database. Do you think it's a real business event? Is it relevant for end user and for business?
No, looks like it was a bad mistake.
Yes, I don't think so. If you
let's delete it.
Yeah,
you're right.
Okay, let's go further. What we have additional there. So of course, by registration, user should fill the profile, and if user logged in, it's still possible to add or update some additional user info.
Wait.
Edit card information. User added a card. Okay, I think it's user added a card. It means it's some kind of payment card, yeah. Or what do you mean with a card here? Could somebody explain? So somebody who added this event.
Excuse me, what did you mean?
I say the event user added a card.
Yep.
What kind of card?
I guess it's about credit or debit card.
It's a credit card, yeah.
Yeah,
Perhaps we can because now we see a nice example of the term. So here we have some ID card. Have just a card, so it could be easy misunderstanding what kind of card is it. So it's a point for our unambiguous languages and for glossary to edit to fix it there. It could be part of the user profile more or less. It's a part of optional, I would say also. Okay, let's go ahead. Card information, edit card information. So I've discussed that card information is important to choose a parking lot that's fit to the car. Therefore, of course, we need to add the car information here. It could be done in the additional step after logged in, or it could be part of the user profile, so both ways as possible. Here, the next step, logical, select place, floor, parking place, and dates that are chosen. So I would add one event between, if you agree. So before I choose the parking place, I need to see the free places.
Yeah, but before choosing parking
really
place.
necessary.
Yes. Just you need to select place, floor, dates, and only then free parking places will be available.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that it is necessary, but it is a good opinion.
I think, because for me, for user, it's two different events. So I receive some kind of representation, so screen where I see free lots. It's a first event, and perhaps it could happen that there are no free places anymore. Yeah, and I also should somehow notify it about that. Because of that, this event is important for me as for user.
Yes, if there is free places or no free places, yes, it is important. But selecting space or a parking place, I don't think it is really required. Yeah, so it is anyway not a beach. Yeah, so where you need more sun. Yeah, so I think any place is good.
Yes, but it may be dependent on the car if it's.
It depends on the car. It depends on the person. Yes.
Yes. So for some person, so some kind of car, we provide. We have more choice. For some, if it's a huge car or some special, perhaps some electric car with a charger, then we have perhaps a smaller choice. Yeah. So place, floor, parking place, dates are chosen. Nice. Yeah. Now it's about payment. Yeah?
First, we have
The way around, I guess. Yes.
Yes. I also think that it could be possible that payment method also depends on the price for some reasons. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think we should.
Okay,
I guess parking ticket has to be created after the payment done.
No, it has to be included.
It's a good question. It's a good question.
Yes.
So what could be happens before payment? Perhaps a reservation of their choice, because it's not nice if user selects something and it will disappear. They go to the payment, and then this place, the slot is reserved in between some other users. Or perhaps we can reserve it for some time, for example, for 5 minutes or for something like this.
And it's booked
Yes.
maybe like
Maybe
this.
like this, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it could be done parallel with the price calculation.
What do you mean, leave the parking?
No, you
Yeah,
say
like
that
you usually know price when you live in the parking, not like when you enter in.
No.
Actually, here we do discuss the how to say it reservation in prior to you get
Okay.
this parking. So,
So yeah, like on next week you're planning your trip, yes, and you would like to reserve the parking. You know the place, you know the dates, and so on. And maybe depends on the amount of dates, system will provide discount, for example.
Yep.
Exactly.
Okay.
We have, of course, some extension mechanism as well. So if your time is not enough, then you can extend it, or perhaps vice versa. I'm not sure. Could model it later on. If you would like to leave early, perhaps there's even some compensation mechanism done, and you will return some amount of money if you leave parking lot early. Yeah, make it free. It's also possible to model. Okay, so price is calculated. Nice. Payment method is chosen. Yeah, we provide some payment methods. And yeah, payment done. So basically, payment processing is more or less external process for us. We say it, therefore we don't model it in very details. It's enough to have a single event.
yes, I think we have some dates here.
Do we need some kind of notification about that?
Yes, we have some.
Somewhere it was notification, yes.
And this promo code shouldn't be it's done before payment?
Yep. Because it influences on the price calculation.
Yes.
So
It should be even before price calculation.
yeah, here somewhere.
Maybe in parallel, yeah, because
In
it
parallel,
can be
yeah.
discount for the price.
Payment information is sent. What does it mean? Sent to the external system or sent to the user?
To
Some
the
kind of
user.
confirmation.
It's
It's
exactly
kind of
information.
confirmation. It's kind of confirmation that it's paid.
Yes.
Yeah, but because we are not doing payment, so it is not really our responsibility to say payment information.
Yes.
Andrei, should we leave this ticket here and mark it within further steps, or should we remove it?
The question, I still think it's some kind of notification for the user is not bad. So if you send a kind of mail or message that the parking lot is reserved, we put the time, identification of the parking lot, car type and number. Yes, so this is I don't think we really need the payment notification. Yeah, Konstantin is right, but generic notification would be not bad.
Yeah. I have just moved it. It is just up above parking info added.
And invoice sent to user. Yeah, it's part of payment. So if user like to have invoice, then it should enter it in the payment system, and it's our responsibility really to send notification to the user. Okay, it's paid, it's notified, it's reserved for the user.
Now it's time to use parking.
Yeah. Well, as a question, would we really put as event that the parking lot is reserved for, I'm not sure, for 5 minutes and for some of it, because I think it's nice to users know that after selection you have some time to pay, but it's not it's not infinite time, of course.
Yes.
What do you think?
Absolutely.
So I think after the
Yeah, normally when you select some place and wanted to pay, so it is done automatically by system. So it's well, if you reserve some, I don't know, seats in cinema, so you are not notified that it is reserved. It is system do it automatically for this session or something like this.
Okay, so you don't notify user about that. And you say it's as an internal technical event, not relevant.
It's just became unavailable.
Yeah,
I would say so.
Perhaps you're right. Yeah, I agree. So user reserved parking lot seems to be duplicate them. Parking lot not found. I think it's a case. It's a valid case, but it's
no. It was just a special funny event for you when parking itself is not found.
Okay.
I think we should do nothing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But basically, it's also valid event if no.
Yes, we must have somehow a workaround for that case.
Yeah, if there are no free parking lots available.
Okay, let's go further because it's time.
Yeah.
Yes, user arrived. Now we scan or the number.
Yeah, user arrived to the parking. Number is scanned. Car number is not recognized. Nice. That's what happens, of course. And parking time started here. Yeah.
I would say here, right?
Good.
I would say after scanning.
Yeah, I would say together.
It should be scanned and recognized, and immediately after parking time started. I agree.
Parking reverse. Then let's say.
Yes. Then.
I think first validate and then parking time is started. Why we started and then validate?
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, but this event is applicable for different cases, in fact.
Okay, so let's move it like that, and in parallel, then we do activate our ticket, right? Okay, so
is it for user relevant that the ticket is activated, or it's transparent?
At least it's kind of
relevant, yes, because inside the mobile application.
You at least have to change the status. And
okay, it will check status. Yeah.
Yes, for example. Yes.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. User open gate.
No. This is wrong order. I mean, yes, this is fine.
User notified about finished parking. Yes. Parking time is exceeded.
I think the exceeding should happen first.
Yeah, perhaps makes sense to notify user a bit earlier. So
yeah, I would say so. Notification should be earlier.
30 minutes before, 1 hour before
expiration.
That the user have chance to extend.
Yes, but in my understanding, I mean, even though it's excited, car is on our parking. He just need to pay. I mean, even 1 hour later, it doesn't matter. So
this is true, but it can be different tariffs. So if you, I don't know, reserve 10 days, it would be one tariff. And if you your 10 days expired and afterwards you can be, I don't know, charged hourly.
It's a price calculation part.
Yeah.
Yes, but I mean, again, it depends. If you're just extending, you mean if you extend an existing ticket, it's one price. But if you pay after exciting, you pay another price.
Yeah.
Okay.
What this event mean inside? Don't get
I
really
guess it was to which one? Slava is moving a busy lot.
I
This one?
think this
Yeah,
one,
this one we
this
have
one,
forgotten.
Andrew is
This
talking.
one is about, I guess, about a functionality of the application that lets us gather all the needed marketing information, how our customers,
okay.
our
Customer feedback.
Customer feedback. Okay. Nice.
So for this reason, I grouped it together with the statistic data. And the last group is about emergency cases, kind of damage claims, this car was stolen, etc.
Okay, good.
I guess we're done.
Yes.
Yeah, I just look on the tickets on the bottom bit. So ID card plays a part of the login process. Okay, so I think we are done then in this step. So as a result, we have now events ordered in the timeline, and we reflect the sequential and parallel running. Let's move to the next step. The next step is quite important. We try to group our events in the boundary and recognize the boundary context. We'll do it with the blue cards. And blue card should answer the question, what helps to somebody to do something. Yeah. If the group of events belong to the same group, we mark it to the blue card, and we also agree how to name it on this step.
Excuse me, and shouldn't we go into external services and?
Sorry, I'm missing one step. Yeah, sorry. Challenges in external service. Yeah. Let's do it first. So we have a red card and we have green cards. So red cards, we can mark some places support some problematic places where we know that it's not easy to implement. We have a problem with external system, or requirements is unclear or difficult to implement. So it's must work with our engineers to mark these cards. It's a bit so assumption and our previous experience with the system.
Yes, where is parking number scan?
Parking number scan.
Car number scan.
Yeah, scan. Yes.
Usually by experience, as we know, as soon as we work with third-party providers or hardware, yeah, problems appears. Some clarification are needed, even sometimes supporting are needed. Yeah, so it's not easy part.
I have marked the functionality that is related to emergency cases, because it is needed to discuss on the business level how should we provide all the compensations and regard all these issues. So it's a question of internal policy of the company.
Issue police report, perhaps. Yeah, it's not quite clear from business point of view what to do in this case. Yeah, it's a special treatment.
Maybe the same will be this parking not found. Yes, it's not clear what to do when user arrived and his parking occupied.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so it's not very pleasure for the user. Perhaps we can just reserve some free parking places for this case and use it in such emergency situations.
So
that's a good idea.
I will take care of money for today, and another red card is for the cancellation policy. So I guess we should charge some money in case user cancels parking lot in the very last moment.
One question from my side. We have, let's say, 2 events. Car number is scanned and car number is not recognized. First one we assign as a problematic one. How to be the second one? Is it, let's say, fine or not? For some cases like this, you know.
So the question also, is it not recognized or it's not found in the system? I think it's 2 different cases, yeah? Not recognized, okay.
Yes, for not found, we have the special event reservation is not found.
Okay, good. Yeah, we need also some process how to deal in this case.
In fact, it's not a problem if it's not recognized. Yeah, it's easy to do.
Because our enter will stay closed in this case if the number is not recognized. So you cannot drive in, but perhaps we can have some hotline that the user can call and say, so I paid,
Yes.
my number is not recognized, and we can have a special process for such kind of situations. Okay, also the green cards are for our external systems. We have a payment service, definitely, or even perhaps a number of payment services if we use different payment methods. And we have a notification service that send some kind of, perhaps different kind of notification to the user. Can say the Viber message, and email, SMS. This external system, I guess, is a scanning and recognition of the numbers. Yeah. You can put the name here.
Yeah.
Okay, we have some problematic points. It's a cancellation of the ticket, parking not found situation. The scanning issues happens in the external system. Emergency case policy. So we need to care about this or have a focus by implementation by technical design, or perhaps discuss it separately and find a solution for everyone. And we have some external system. We have a payment service. We have ID recognition service for the card recognition. Notification service to send a notification to the user, scanning and recognition system for the card numbers. I have some insurance service and contact in the emergency cases. This is our external systems.
For parking lot is busy, we may also have a problem. I mean, if it's busy, user.
And then put there the red card for that.
Oh, I mean this one, and also if an example, the parking lot is not suitable to the car. I don't know why it might happen. Maybe it's incorrectly specified.
Is it not almost the same as a parking not found? Yeah. So you drive and you see that parking number, but your reserved not fit for your car.
Yeah.
But this is kind of in time. This is here. I mean,
I guess for this case, we will hire a babka who will guide these unlucky drivers to free places. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
By the way, just problem come to my mind regarding the prolongation, yeah, because it can be that somebody else already bought the time after your time.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah, and you will not be able to just prolongate simply.
Difficult question. Yeah, I would say new guy will not be able to
Parking not found.
leave a car. Yeah.
We need to take into account by displaying free parking place, that even if the ticket is expired but car is still there, car not leave the parking place, that they could not offer these places for the new users.
Yes, it may be just a part of prolongation process, just to switch the parking place, which is can also be not possible. I mean, yeah, if one prolong his parking place, which is booked right after him, we can notify another to switch the parking place. Let's say it like this.
If there is free parking space.
Yes, of course.
That's also possible. Yeah.
Yes, but it also can be a part of prolongation process that you are not able to prolong if there is no free place.
You ask to leave the parking.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think we are going too deep into edge cases here, so let's probably first go through the happy path.
Yes, nice. Very nice that they have this kind of passes as well, so unhappy and emergency and so on. But yes, concentrate on the happy pass first. Okay, we are done with problem spots and external systems, and now we really can start to group in cards together. I asked to use a blue card for that, and you write the sentence who help to who and what the group of cards is done for the user. And we also should agree on the name of this. That's also important. It should have somehow to name the group of. So let's perhaps try to place blue card first.
Could you please explain one more time the basic criteria for this kind of grouping and naming?
So the group of cards should have some common action for the user. So some common functionality. So it should help for user to do something not as small, but a bit high granular. So it's basically a group of cards that provide push user further in the process. So, for example, the first example is registration and login. So we have definitely a group of cards that helps user to be either registered, enter the personal information, at the car, or if the user has already this just logged in using ID card or username password or two-factor validation. Yeah. This is a good example how we group the events together.
Then the payment process. Will it be okay from the terms point of view that we?
Yes.
Okay.
User registration login. Now the question is, I think the selection of the free parking lots and choice of the parking lot. It's another group. Could be another group. I see a notification part. It's quite seen in the system, in our system, because we use external notification service. But anyway,
I guess more or less we are done with it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So with the groups we have, let's go through. We have definitely user registration and login. I have parking booking. We have payment. We have notification. I have activation of the parking when the car drive in. We have a prolongation part. I have some emergency cases. Does it make sense?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, and let's go to our last step. So we have now identified our bounded context that basically would be used as a service candidates. It's not necessarily be one-to-one in implementation, but it's very good tips that we have. Perhaps we have some user login service or user registration service. We have a booking service. We have notification payment service. Have perhaps activation prolongation. Some of them perhaps belongs together. Not necessary to have one-to-one, but have very good candidates now after this step. Now, what the last step is implement. You see that there are a lot of edge cases. We already identified a lot of things that perhaps not necessary to be implemented on the first step, on the first iteration, to have an MVP product. In the purpose of the last step, we try to identify the scene slice. So it's a process will be small enough and easy enough to be implemented in the first step, but still have a value for the user. So user can park, can pay. Perhaps it can not choose all payment methods, or perhaps we not manage some emergency situations or something like this, and we don't provide ID card to log in, but user can benefit from our main functionality. So this is a scene slice we are used for the MVP. For that, I would propose that we use our dots and vote to put the dots in the event which we think that's important for the MVP. So let's take, I don't know, let's take 10 dots for every person. If you don't use all of them, then would be less. And set a timer for perhaps 3 minutes or 4 minutes. And let's vote which events are important enough to be in the our scene slice.
Our MVP, right?
Yeah,
So,
scene slice and MVP is a result of the implementation of scene slice will be.
yeah. So, shall I start the timer?
Yes, please.
Good. So,
and we will use this balls at the right side.
Yes, yes.
Or there is Mira has own voting functionality.
yes.
Yes, we can also. But for example, we shouldn't vote for the external system or for the red cards. The dots and yeah, just to try the reproduce or real classical way to model in the room and the whiteboard, and the dots are more useful there. I would say some edge cases and emergency cases as candidates for the separate modeling. You can also say it's too complicated to do it on the same process, and it's a different process. We do model separately. It's also valid outcome. Okay, now it seems to be done more or less. Yeah. Let's see which events are part of our scene slice. Okay, so user definitely need to download application. It makes no sense. They need to log in. In this, I would put also point to the registration, because if user not registered in the system, we should have a possibility for user to be registered. I'll also select the registration as well on the first step. Edit card info. Yeah, additional information, user profile is not so important. Display of free parking lot and choice of place, floor, dates are important. This one as well. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Calculation of price is definitely important, and booking of the parking lot. So promo code we can leave as for the next step is not. Parking is paid and payment done. Yes, it's important. Receiving of the parking tickets and notification. It's debatable. Perhaps you can leave notification for the next time, but it's decision, more or less decision of the business expert. Is it important for user to have notification on the first step or not? Scanning of car number is essential to enter the user. Validation of parking ticket and start the parking time. Yeah, so fix the parking time in the system. Also detect the parking type exceeded, and I think also notification about finished parking place. I would also say it's quite important that the user notified. Yeah, and that's it. So we also see now our scene slice. We see the event that's absolutely necessary to provide functionality for the user, and the product owner can take them into account to create backlog items and make a more technical design and provide the task for the team. Okay, so basically we're done with the event storming process for our parking lot application.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you a lot. Thank you a lot.
Thank you,
Have a great
Andrew.
evening.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.